Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Blue News. I'm your host, Carlos.
And I'm Kenya. Let's get right into the news.
For the month of February, the Students of Color Association, also known as SOCA of Swampscott High School, took their time to create posters to showcase famous and historical cultural black figures around the school, to iconic athletes like Bill Russell to the legendary Michael Jackson. Students tell the story of every person's life and important achievements. Additionally, to really celebrate the SOCA advisor, Mr. Temmie Bailey has decided to pick poems and excerpts from black authors and have students from the club read them out loud in the morning announcements for the whole month. Lastly, SOCA and Swampscott Sure, a nonprofit organization that strives to encourage a diverse community in Swampscott, are hosting a Black History Month event here at Swampscott High School on Tuesday, February 24th at 5 p.m. Sure's founding member, Mr. Ralph Edwards, has told us, Black history is American history. This nation was built and flourished on the stolen labor of enslaved Africans and on scientific inventions, contributions, cultural and political thought that is uniquely intertwined and synergistic to the American tapestry. The American identity is incomplete if Black history is omitted. Even though Black History Month has just started, Swampscott is taking time to celebrate throughout the whole month.
On January 24th, Alex Preddy, who was a registered nurse, was fatally shot by ICE agents. Alex Preddy, who was a demonstrator for anti-ICE, especially following Renee Good's death, was observing and directing traffic across the street simultaneously at the time where ICE was present at the local donut shop. The donut shop was locked when Preddy and other observers were outside. Then video footage later captured ICE agents pushing a woman in an orange backpack. Preddy stood between the agents and the woman being pushed, briefly putting his hand on the agent's waist, and was then pepper sprayed by the agent. Preddy then brought his phone out to record and then tried to help the fallen woman get up, all while still embracing her. Preddy was then restrained by several agents on the ground, with both of his arms pinned down by his head, according to witnesses. He was then pepper sprayed by an agent and hit with the canister multiple times. A video recording then captured an agent in gray removing a firearm from Preddy's holster, who seconds later was shot by another agent. A third agent then drew his gun and shot at Preddy, who appeared to be motionless, totaling to Preddy being shot 10 times within 5 seconds. Witnesses state that Preddy wasn't holding his gun as it was on his body, and video footage shows only his phone in hand. Preddy was also a legally licensed gun carrier in the state of Minnesota. After the shooting, Preddy's parents released a statement saying, quote, "We are heartbroken but also very angry, and the sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. Many have been outraged by this killing and have taken to the streets hours after in cities such as Minnesota, Los Angeles, Boston, and Chicago."
On Monday, February 2nd, Swampscott High School held an assembly where Steve Goldberg shared his story of his friend Abe Piasek, a Holocaust survivor. Abe Piasek passed away at the age of 91 in 2020, having spent the last decade of his life sharing his story with people, particularly students around the world. Before he passed away, he requested his friend Steve Goldberg to keep telling his story, and to this day, Steve keeps Abe's legacy alive by sharing his story with as many people as possible. Abe Piasek was born in Poland in 1928, but when he turned 11, Germany invaded Poland, and the Jews in his hometown were forced into ghettos. He was taken away from his family at 13 and never saw them again. He was forced to work in 3 slave labor camps, and by the time he was 16, he weighed only 75 pounds. We got to catch up with Goldberg after the presentation.
Hi, I'm Alex Alkazov, and I'm here with Mr. Steve Goldberg, and he's spreading a story about his friend Abe Piasek.
Oh, thanks, Alex. I've been a teacher for more than 20 years, and I was teaching in Durham, North Carolina, and Abe Piasek, a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor, came and spoke at my school. And I used to teach at a school called the Potomac School in Washington, D.C., and I went back there and we had a all-school assembly, about 550 students, the full faculty, and Abe's story got a standing ovation, and that was really special.
Reached out to Ms. Whitford and I saying that he had a connection, Steve, and he was able to get us in contact with Steve, and me and Ms. Whitford as the ADL advisors felt it was really important that our students got to hear Abe's story through Steve. It's not every day that you get to hear a story of a Holocaust survivor.
So, yeah, I mean, he asked me 3 days before he died, but also, I don't know if I said that, but I went to visit him, and 3 days before he passed away, I went to his bedside, and he said, keep telling my story.
If you would like to see the full performance by Goldberg, the link will be in the description.
Turkish diplomat Hakan Fidan warned the U.S. that an attack on Iran would be wrong. Last June, the U.S. attacked some of Iran's nuclear plants due to speculation of nuclear weapons. The U.S. recently sent an aircraft strikers to the Gulf while Trump continues to threaten an attack. Iran said if attacked again, they will launch a comprehensive and regret-inducing response. Trump highlighted how much military the U.S. had heading over there, saying, "By the way, there's another beautiful armada floating beautifully towards Iran right now, so we'll see. I hope they make a deal. Hopefully each country sorts this out."
Questions started to increase over how the utility funds were used within the school budget for the 2025 fiscal year, which was from July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of 2025. Swampscott opened the new elementary school in 2024, combining 3 old buildings into one new one. The school is located at 10 Whitman Road. The school holds around 750 students and possibly more. The officials had said that the utility costs were difficult to predict during their first operations. In January 2025, the chambers of the Select Board, Fletcher, School Committee, Pastor, and Finance Committee, Hartman, all met together to finalize the 2026 fiscal year budget. Mary Ellen Fletcher said, "The school department should use an additional one more year of $200,000 from free cash for utilities." Superintendent Jason Kalishman said, "Came in under budget at the tri-board meeting at the school department, saving money through the allocation."
The budget fluctuates a tremendous amount in that period of time. You could look at our unemployment, you can look at a variety of different reasons, but the bottom line is we were within 1.3% of our budget. And I know I'm new to this, but I feel like headline news, the school came in under budget. Like, that should be a great thing.
It is a great thing.
Good. So, yeah, so we're in agreement there. So I understand that it looks like I don't think anybody expected it to go to 517. I think it's already down to 410 or so. But we came in under budget by a very small percentage, and I think that should be applauded.
Vice Chair Glenn Pastor ended the tri-board meeting saying that the school department will do what it takes to continue forward.
Recently, Swampscott High School turned to the cafeteria into its very own Italian restaurant to raise awareness and help raise money for My Brother's Table. My Brother's Table is a charity organization that has served over 9 million free hot meals over the course of 45 years. This event was arranged by Mr. Brandon Lewis, an English teacher at Swampscott High School, who had organized his communication classes to create this dinner. The students served hundreds of people and brought in over 100 just in the first half of the night. Additionally, a 3-course meal was served over 2.5 hours, with the total money raised being around $2,400, with donations still coming in. Overall, this dinner was a well-spirited contribution to help fight the ongoing situation of rising food insecurity in America.
The SHS robotics team is hosting its first bake sale this season. It is an entirely student-hosted and funded event. It will take place during the very first playoff game for high school boys basketball at the Dick Lynch Gymnasium, the SHS gym. There will be fresh student-made food baked specifically for this occasion. All types of baked goods and drinks will be sold from 5 to 8 p.m. All profits will go to the robotics team to buy new parts and team merchandise to support them this season. They've been working hard and diligently since November, and they've been building since the beginning of January. But being the team with the lowest amount of funding in the area with robotics, the Currents look for your help and support for this upcoming season. That's it for news. Let's take it over to Joey for our entertainment desk.
Thank you, Carlos. The Oscars nominees were announced on January 22nd, and many good films got nominated. However, one movie achieved a feat no other did. Sinners, a movie by Ryan Coogler, has recently become the most nominated movie at the Oscars, with a staggering 16 nominations. Along with this, it has also become the most nominated film by a black director at the British Academy Film Awards, or the BAFTAs, which was announced on January 27th. It got 13 nominations. This puts it one nomination behind One Battle After Another, but it is still an impressive number of nominations nonetheless. This is a big achievement for any movie to reach, but for a movie rooted in such deep cultural ties, this is especially rewarding. Sinners was included as one of the many films nominated for Best Picture this year. We asked people around our school what they would like to see win.
Hello, my name is Camden Tracy, and I'll be your interviewer today. And today we'll be asking people around the school what they want to win for Best Picture at the Oscars 2026, and see if they pick my favorite answer, sentimental value. We just had one question for you. What do you want to win Best Picture this year at the Oscars, and why?
I think Sinners should win. Just all around great movie. I love the F1 movie though. Brad Pitt, love you.
I would like F1 to win Best Picture because I like Brad Pitt and I like F1 racing.
We would like to pick Marty Supreme.
Because he is a very inspirational man to all.
Frankenstein, because I think the cinematography is pretty great and the acting too.
Obviously Sinners. It had a fantastic soundtrack. All of the characters were absolutely fantastic, and it is such a beautifully shot and costume movie. I would argue it's one of the best movies of all time. I really, really, really love it. And Michael B. Jordan's really hot.
I think unequivocally the most deserving picture is Sinners by Michael B. Jordan. I love the historical film aspect of it. I love this horror aspect, the vampires. It's just a great movie.
Oh, that's the most obvious answer ever. If Sinners doesn't win, I think it will be pretty rigged. If any of you guys have watched, if none of you guys have never watched that movie, I recommend it so bad. Michael B. Jordan's performance as, oh my gosh, it was just so good and so historical. It definitely shows a lot of black excellence, which is why I'm basically really biased. But I really would recommend that movie. It's just so beautiful. I actually cried at the end. No spoilers. I'm trying not to give any spoilers, but it was really good, and I recommend you all to watch it. And that's my opinion. Thanks.
Thank you.
Following the death of Renee Good and more recently Alex Preddy in Minneapolis, many celebrities have begun to speak out on what ICE is doing. Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and Pedro Pascal have all posted emotional videos on Instagram and gave similar speeches on the red carpet, while urging others to use their voices. All three have a history about being against ICE and the Trump administration. Other celebrities doing the same are Katy Perry, Ed Norton, Ariana Grande, Jenna Ortega, Mark Ruffalo, Natalie Portman, and many more. Each of those celebrities have made it known that they are also against deportation, ICE, and the Trump administration. These celebrities will continue to speak out in hopes that the Trump administration will stop. After 8 long years of waiting for the end of a large legal battle, the hit anime Dragon Ball Super is returning. On the 24th of January, Dragon Ball held its 40th year Genki Daramatsuri, or in other words, celebration. This was a global event held by Toei Animation in Japan and announced huge news for Dragon Ball. It announced new updates for games, a new game under the title Age 1000, and 2 new Dragon Ball anime. The first releases this fall with a weekly release schedule. It's titled Dragon Ball Super Beerus and will be a remake that is more true to the manga of the original Dragon Ball Super anime. It will contain a lot less episodes than the original, and once it's over, Dragon Ball Super, The Galactic Patrol, the second anime, will follow. This contains the Moro arc and the Granola arc, which not only will be animated for the first time, but will also give Dragon Ball games more characters and properties to work with. The last time Dragon Ball was animated, it crashed the internet for several hours globally. This was the first time and the only instance of this ever happening. It is speculated amongst fans that this could happen again with the following animes. Overall, millions of people are waiting with anticipation for Dragon Ball to return this fall. Following the current Oscar season buzz, a shocking controversy has sparked between director duo Benny and Josh Safdie. The once renowned brothers were known for their creative style of creating indie, edgy crime films, such as Good Time and Uncut Gems, before their mysterious split in 2023. With a recent article published by the Page 6 Hollywood, we finally have a possible reason as to why the split occurred. On the set of their 2017 film Good Time, according to the source, Josh Safdie allegedly allowed sexual assault to occur on set and filmed it for the movie even though it was not consensual. The actress involved was only 17 years old and the perpetrator was an inexperienced actor. Many found the choice to hire people with no prior acting experience unprofessional for such a large production. When Benny was made aware of this, he ended his partnership with his brother. Controversy continues to rage as one of Josh Safdie's movies, Marty Supreme, is being nominated for Best Picture and other awards. And now we'll cut to the sports desk with Yosef and Rayan.
Thanks, Joey. The winter regular season is wrapping up, and the Big Blue are fighting hard for some playoff spots. The boys lost to Lynn Costco 58-71 in a tough game at home, and it was starting to be a good game with the Big Blue taking an early 11-2 lead, but another rough second quarter would send the Big Blue down 38-20 at halftime. The deficit for the Big Blue would be too much to overcome and would end up losing that game. The boys lost against Beverly 56-69. It was a tough game at home, the fan section was non-existent, and it was a brutal game for the Big Blue overall. They beat Saugus with a score of 60-53 to get back into the win column, and they also took a win against Salem at home after losing the first matchup without Teddy O'Neill. It was senior night for the Big Blue, and that game finished with a score of 58-52 in an instant classic of a game for the Big Blue. Torello led the way with scoring with 22, O'Neill chipped in 17, and Macaluco had 12. The boys have qualified for the playoffs and secured a home game in the first round and are now looking to get to their second home game.
The girls have been having an amazing season and were on a 6-game win streak, with close wins against Beverly and Masco and dominant performances against Lynn Tech and Winthrop. They were just defeated by Saugus 49-52, where the Sachems came back down 20 in the second half and stole one from the Big Blue at home. They then dismantled Salem with a score of 40-7. They played Danvers yesterday with a competitive game going back and forth. It came down to the final 4 minutes of the game, where ultimately the Falcons were more prepared against the Big Blue and went on a big run and would beat the Big Blue by 6. It was a great game against the Division II Falcons, and the girls have 2 more games at home next week. Make sure to catch the action on the Swampscott Big Blue Athletics YouTube page.
Tuesday, February 3rd, SHS was hosting a home basketball game after a parent reported a referee with suspicious behavior. He was arrested shortly after. We at the Big Blue News have received a police report of the incident from the chief of police himself, Ruben Quesada. The name of the referee is hidden at this time, but we received the following information. At approximately 4:45 p.m., units were dispatched to the parking lot at the Swampscott High School on a report that a referee was displaying signs of possible medical issues. When units arrived, they were met by a crowd of people who had attempted to stop the referee from driving away, and upon the officers' arrival, it became apparent that the referee was intoxicated, and further findings revealed a number of small bottles of alcohol, some partially consumed inside of the vehicle. Due to all the factors above, the referee was taken into custody for several fresh charges: OUI, and operating with suspended license, negligent operation, and open container violation. Officers spoke with a number of witnesses who reported the referee was exhibiting odd behavior during the game that actually led to him being asked to leave while the game was still underway. At this time, the referee has been booked and in the cell awaiting bail clerk status.
Boys hockey is doing really good this season. Their senior night on Monday, where Dominic Papalardo nominated Miss Titus for teacher appreciation, and Jason Rothwell nominated Mr. Wildman. Besides that, they'll be moving into playoffs, so we wish them good luck.
Dangumbit, the girls' hockey is doing a lot worse than the boys this season with 2 wins, 1 tie, and 8 losses. The luck is not looking so good. They will be not entering the playoffs this season, which is unfortunate, but luckily wrestling is doing a lot better overall.
That's right, Ryan. Wrestling was doing really good and took their first devastating loss last Wednesday with 2 wins and 14 losses, with the only win being from Swampscott by Xavier Tejada. Their overall record is still looking good, but who knows what they'll be like for the rest of the season.
Driving away from the more physical and head-on sports, track and field has their state championships later today. It will be an all-day event extending past 9 p.m., and all those here at Swampscott High School will be getting dismissed at 12:45 later today. We wish them good luck in hopes that Swampscott will bring home the gold.
Now we'll be heading over to the weather desk with Joey Blood.
Thank you, Rayon. Thankfully, it will warm up this week here in Swampscott. It will actually get above freezing most days. Take that, Puxatawny Phil. Today it's looking like sunny skies with rising temperature. We're finally getting out of freezing temps. For Saturday, it'll be sunny skies with an upbringing in temperature throughout the rest of the week. As for precipitation, it will snow Sunday and Monday with a bit of rain and sleet mixed in on Monday as well. It'll be cloudy on Tuesday with temperatures still rising while it'll rain both Wednesday and Thursday. If you're traveling over break, watch out for heavy rains in Brazil and other parts of South America. If you're staying home, enjoy the slightly warmer weather as we head towards spring. That's it for weather. Back to the news desk.
Here's what we got for upcoming events. February break begins on Saturday, February 14th, with that day also being Valentine's Day. There will be a band and chorus Black History Month celebration performance on Tuesday, February 24th. District MCAS for SHS students will begin on Wednesday, February 25th. And finally, a school committee meeting will be held at 6 p.m. on Thursday, February 26th. We thank you for joining us on this episode of Big Blue News.
Tune in next time, have a great break, and be sure to like and subscribe.